What? Who am I? Who am I to say it out loud?
Well, you're number 87 this week. What do you got?
Well, Butch Roll, obviously, former Bills tight end, at one point had caught 14 straight catches for touchdowns. 14 straight catches, touchdowns.
You forgot to say it was autographed.
Oh, it's also autographed to the bank. It's also an autographed Butch Roll jersey. Who doesn't have an autographed Butch Roll jersey in their closet?
Pat Duffy, good to see you. Well, look, we don't usually spend a whole segment talking about a game that's already been played, but we're going to do that this time. Was that the best game the Bills have ever played?
It's the perfect game. I really can't say anything else than it was the perfect game. Every possession you scored, every moment was unbelievable. Defense was able to hold them down. I've never seen anything like this. And because it was against the Patriots.
Because it's never happened.
Well, and here's look at all the dynamics you're going to get. The weather, a hated rival, good coach. And then you go out and you totally annihilate that team, Madden football style. It's just, I hate to say, I know we use perfect game for baseball. That was the perfect game.
I always wonder, like, is it worth watching any more football after seeing that?
Well, right, it is. Well, like, if it wasn't for the stakes, right, every other game would be disappointing. Like, if that game happened in the first Patriots matchup, you're right, the rest of the season would be a bit of a disappointment. But the fact that the stakes are so high against Kansas City this coming week, okay. No, but, like, I was thinking about this, right? Like, the best Bills game that I've ever watched before, Patriots one is up there. That 51-3 AFC Championship.
The one that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, right? I mean, against Oakland, it was LA at the time, right? Like, I mean, that sends you to the Super Bowl. You were partying at the end of the first quarter knowing that you were going to the Super Bowl. But other than that, I mean, you're right. Like, throughout Bills history, and I've watched every minute of every game since I've been conscious, there was no feeling like that game Saturday night in Orchard Park. Oh, my God. Because of everything you said, all the moving parts, right? It's Belichick. Oh, he's a genius. Not so much anymore. It's the fact that this rookie kid is about to overtake Josh Allen. Maybe not so much. The fact that the defense, I mean, you go back and listen to the mic'd up. They had the safeties mic'd up in Buffalo, right? Just how much they're gushing over their teammate in Josh Allen in a conversation that they're not really thinking about other people can hear. It was brilliant. It was wonderful. I love every second.
And here's the interesting part about this. When it comes to the Buffalo Bills and their coaching staff, I've never seen them so focused and together. And think about how many different guys are now interviewing for jobs based on the resume the last 2 weeks, the way the Buffalo Bills have played. This is going to be, I don't want to get into the Kansas City game, this is going to be the real stakes to stop an offensive team like the Buffalo Bills. I've never seen anything like that. Now, you have Mahomes, you do have Kansas City, but I was very happy for every single coach, from head coach, defensive, offensive, all the way through the special teams for Buffalo. I don't know how you duplicate that again.
Yeah. So it had to be, because it was the best Buffalo Bills team we've seen to date. The 1990 season, the 1991 game played against the Raiders, 51-3 in the AFC Championship. So the stakes are higher because it's put in your first Super Bowl. It's the best Buffalo Bills team that we have seen. Yeah. This one perhaps at some point can pass it. That was the one that you're comparing this game with.
Yes.
As I looked for something to compare them with, I thought the biggest difference in that was that the Raiders turned the ball over 6 times. Jay Schrader was their quarterback, and he got picked 5 times in that game.
That sounds
so. Right. In terms of the Bills needing to play the perfect game that they did against the Patriots versus this one, where the Raiders essentially self-destructed, I have to fall on the side of this game last week against the Patriots being the best game the Bills have ever played.
No, I mean, I can't argue with that. When you make those points, I think you're absolutely right. But I will say this. I want to thank you, and I want to thank all the people that were all over social media for however many weeks talking about what a genius Bill Belichick was to only throw the ball 3 times in that first matchup. Because there's audio that I've been seeing over and over and over again. And it's when McDermott, after that game, was asked about the genius of McDermott doing what he did. And McDermott at the time looked at the camera and said, well, let's not give Belichick too much credit. It sounded petty at the time. The reason why the Bills had that game, not just the perfection of it, but running up the score, was to prove a point. Yeah. And the reason why the Bills scored all the points they did against New England in the second matchup was to prove a point. You've unleashed a can out of Sean McDermott, a bitter, angry, petty can. And I love it. I love every second.
And now I can't wait for the Kansas City game, because imagine how he felt after last year's AFC Championship game. Will he have more of that pettiness left in him?